Wow, that was difficult. That was probably attempt number 28. But today we're going to talk about how to beat the bonus tier of the Finalizer event. So I want to start with a few things. One, my name is Sam. You guys should subscribe to the channel. New Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content creator. Two, this is my experience. This is not going to be the empirical, best possible, most strategic, efficient way to do this. It is just, I've been struggling for like 4 hours, searching Reddit, Discord, YouTube, couldn't find much. Compiled what I did find, tested some things, tried some other things, and finally got it to work. So hopefully I can pass some of that knowledge to you. So what I did was I used these certain chips, and I'm going to show you each chip that I use and their abilities. I do have the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren Lightspeed Bundle and the Finalizer Lightspeed Bundle. So again, that's my experience. Without that, I just don't know what to tell you. I can only show you what I learned from my experience having both those bundles and doing this fight. You can see that my Finalizer, you cannot see, but my Finalizer is actually at 5 stars now. We finally got it up there, so that's exciting, and I will keep doing this over and over and over again. So my Hux is at tier 5, or Relic 5. I do not even have any mods on him. And I did not upgrade any of these abilities. They are at level 3. I'll talk about some of the abilities to use in the fight later, but just showing you the ships. The ships that I used, TIE Silencer, that's the most important ship we have, or the second most important. Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle, those are the 2 first order ships we used. And then we used basically just 2 other ships, really. Bounty Hunters. We used the Houndstooth, and I used Xanadu Blood. Those are basically the main ones that I used over and over and over again. In terms of the abilities that are leveled on them, the most important ones, again, this is all from the Lightspeed bundles. Secure the Hunt, not Secure the Hunt. Trandoshan Barricade, which is the crew ability, I leveled up to 8. It was at 7, I leveled up to 8, because when Houndstooth loses taunt, if someone is under breached, what they should be, then he gains taunt for 1 turn. And you basically need taunt up 100% of the time to win this fight. And so I upgraded that, and that made it much easier. I was having significantly less success, or getting closer, not as close to success before that. So that's one of the abilities that I would definitely recommend upgrading if possible. Xanadu Blood, everything is just standard. Didn't upgrade any of these. Don't know what that is. But it inflicts breach, so that helps. And then going back to the first order ships, TIE Silencer, I didn't upgrade anything, but I did make sure to give Kylo 5 mods. And then I don't think I upgraded any of his abilities. I don't think I upgraded any of Kylo Ren's command abilities. But really quickly, the main abilities that I use in the fight, we'll talk a little bit more. The advanced jamming? No. There it is. Surprise raid. Target ally gains 100% turn meter and advantage for 1 turn. That's the main ability you use just to feed TIE Silencer more turns. TIE Silencer is amazing. Stunning on the A1 if they have more than 50% turn meter. So if you're choosing who to stun, make sure they have more than half turn meter. And then gives himself advantage. Or gives himself advantage. And then when he has advantage, using this ability just to nuke is huge. For the Bounty Hunter ships, again, it's all about taunt. So you're opening up with taunt and placing breach on, hopefully Anakin, but anybody if Anakin already has it. And then just making sure we get back to that taunt as soon as possible. Xanadu Blood, the reason I bring it in is because Rogue Maneuver brings in a target ally and also inflicts breach, which helps with, again, keeping taunt up on Houndstooth. But the ally I like to bring in is TIE Silencer because 1, it hits hard, and 2, it can stun enemies. So that's the ships I use. For the characters, I do have mods on them. Basically, just the dot matter. So I try to have 5 mods on all of them. 5 mods on Cad Bane. 5 mods on Bosk, I believe. I actually don't know if I tested Bosk today. Yeah, all 5 mods. I don't have many 6 mods, so 5 mods is kind of all we have. We saw that Hux doesn't have them. I'm going to try and add them to Hux, see if that helps us in the next fight. But Kylo Ren Unmasked and Kylo Ren Regular have mods. And again, 5 mods is typically the best. You don't want like 2 or 3 or 4 mods. Okay, so step by step gonna walk you guys through what I do. So we're gonna open up with the stun on the Y-wing because we don't want him to taunt and force us to attack him. Then we're going to place Hunted with Finalizer on Anakin. If it does not place, you can restart. It is okay to restart in the beginning. And then I like to stun Jedi Consular, but it doesn't really matter. The biggest thing is you need to place Breach on Anakin. Again, if it's resisted, you start over again. If at any point, especially early, the taunt gets removed from Houndstooth, you restart. You're going to probably take a lot of attempts to do this. Like I said, this took close to 30 for me. So I had to restart tons and tons and tons of times. So do not feel bad if you have to restart a little bit early on. Again, just to repeat these steps, make sure that you get the perfect start. So enemy number 1 is Anakin. We're just going to do everything we can to stop him from getting going. So we want Hunted and Breach on Anakin's ship basically the whole time. That's kind of tip number 1. But we want to stun the Y-Wing so that we can get those debuffs up on Anakin. Pretty much any time Finalizer can use the Hunted, I would recommend using it. I didn't always do that. Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle, the best ability there to me is just giving TIE Silencer more turn meter. But you can also, if necessary, you can give Houndstooth more turn meter to try and get back to his taunt. Because you need basically taunt up at all times. If you don't have taunt up, things will start falling apart. And then if you don't have those 2 debuffs on Anakin's ship, then that will start to fall apart. The other thing that the Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle can do is sacrifice their own turn meter to give advantage up to the rest of your team. That is particularly beneficial for the TIE Silencer, just to make it do more damage. You should not use TIE Silencer's A2, the big ability, unless you have advantage, because otherwise you're wasting it. Obviously, the best time to use that is to kill ships, but I would also do this if stunning that enemy doesn't make a big deal. Like stunning the Y-Wing at this point when he already has taunt up doesn't make that much of a change, but then nuking it would obviously be great because you need to eventually kill everyone. So again, the main thing to watch for is buffs being removed from Houndstooth. If buff immunity gets placed, it's very difficult to get it back. But again, maybe you can try giving Houndstooth more turn meter. That's why I think having that ability upgraded is big, just to make sure you keep it up. In terms of reinforcements, I call in Cad Bane's ship. I forget what it's called at the moment. But basically what I do is I just bring in TIE Silencer, and you can do some good damage, but also you can stun if you need to and get a little bit of AoE damage there. Getting rid of taunt buffs is big because then you can start opening up on Anakin's ship. Again, in terms of the ships, the order that you want to kill them, or the worst ships to fight, Anakin is number 1. I would say Ahsoka is number 2, and then kind of the rest of them, Clone Sergeant, Umbaran, and once you take those out, the rest you can kind of take out. Jedi Consular is a little annoying in the beginning, but not too bad. But Anakin, Ahsoka, and Umbaran I think are the worst, and then I guess Clone Sergeant as well, just because of the taunt. Plo Koon is big when he comes in and heals, but he's kind of a one-trick pony. In this fight, that's kind of all that he does. Okay, I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of the fight at regular speed, and then we'll talk a little bit more at the end. So there it is. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Again, it's not an exact science. It's not a guaranteed success framework, but hopefully with this framework, myself going back and farming this, and you guys going forward, at least have something to aim for that we know can work, as opposed to just throwing anything against the wall and hoping that it sticks. Anyways, if this was remotely helpful or you guys enjoyed hanging out, I would appreciate subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.